our people on Zoom and on Facebook. Thank you guys for joining us tonight for Sunday Night Live. And I'm going to pull up so I can see.
Tonight's
so I
letter
can see
is
you guys.
B.
So we can see.
I feel like we're on Sesame Street. And today's letter is B.
I know. Today's lot brought to you by the letter B. Part 2. Hopefully, if you guys joined us last week, we were covering the letter B, part 1. There's a lot of B products, so we're making our way through them all. So thank you guys for joining us, joining Melissa and Melissa joining in from Houston, and I'm joining you guys live from Northern California in Loomis, California, just outside of Sacramento. So tonight's hot topic is we're talking about sinus and stuffiness relief. We're going to talk about having strong bones, overcoming addictions, and a whole lot more. So, so this is exciting. And those of you who are joining us at the beginning, we have a gift for you. Now, if you joined us last week, it's the same gift that we shared with you last week, those who tuned in at the beginning. So if you've already gotten this, you're already ahead of the game, but we wanted to share it again this week because we find it so valuable. So any of you out there who are suffering from some imbalance with your hormones or managing your weight, stress, brain fog, supporting your thyroid, sleep issues, this is for you. Okay, so Dr. Marisa Snyder, she is a chiropractor who spoke at doTERRA's recent doTERRA convention, and she is bringing 29 expert leaders for 5 days of free hormone balancing information. It's going to be an amazing online event, cutting edge information on how to naturally balance hormones with essential oils. You can listen to all 30 talks for free. And then you have an option if you want to purchase the talks and be able to listen to them later. All the profits to that are going to go towards doTERRA's Healing Hands Foundation, nonprofit organization, specifically Days for Girls. I know that's an organization that's dear to Melissa and I, our hearts. And their goal is to raise at least $50,000. So I'm going to copy this link here for you to get registered. I think the talks all start, I think it's October 22nd. So you still have a few days still to get registered for that. Actually, comment below if you're already registered for it. Just say already registered, and we'll know that you guys are already a part of that. But let me see if I can pull up the comments here so that I can post this link for you guys. Let me get in the right place here, and I can share this with you. So comment below. Let us know what are you excited about learning tonight with us in the Sunday Night Live. Let's see if it's letting me copy and paste here. There we go. Okay, so there's the link there for you to be able to register for the hormone balancing online summit. Okay, so now you guys know that we want our Sunday Night Live panel discussions to be about you and your most requested topics. So we're going to ask you tonight, what do you most want to know about? Look at what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about our blue tansy oil and black pepper. These are tiny little beauties. We're talking about the whole breathe line. Did you know there was like a whole line? There's a whole breathe line of products that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the bone nutrient complex. Did you even know that doTERRA had this? And we're going to talk about the brand new Brave roller bottle that comes in this. It's a part of this little set here. So what do you most want to know about when it comes to these oils and supplements? Do you want to know what is the bone nutrient complex for, or are any of these designed just for kids, or what can I do with my black pepper? what's the point in all, why do you need a whole line for breathe? Will the blue tansy actually make my skin blue? You know, what are you thinking? What do you most want to know about? We actually polled inside, right, Melissa? We polled inside our exclusive customer group as well. And we have some top responses here. Let me see, did I put those down here? Oh, what were some of the top responses? So we heard from you in our customers group that most of you want to know, what is blue tansy going to help me with? Okay, so we're going to talk about that tonight. But comment below what you most want to know about as well, and we will try to address those tonight. You also wanted to know, what is the bone nutrient complex for? So we're going to talk about that as well. And the third top thing that you want to know about is, what's the difference between the Breathe Vapor Stick and the Breathe Touch? So we'll talk about those things too. And then we'll talk a little bit more about black pepper. I think you'll find some surprising information about black pepper that I just was researching today. And then the new Brave roller, we'll talk about that as well. So, all right, so let's dive in. And actually, let me see, is anybody joining us tonight? Or are we just talking? If you're joining us on the replay, hello. Go ahead and comment below, because we'd love to hear from you, even if you're joining on the replay. We'll come back and share comments, answer questions, and those kinds of things. So, so what will blue tansy, is that what we want to dig into? What is blue tansy going to help me with? Well, first of all, actually, let me share a picture here with you so you guys can see. Let me pull it up here. So this is the little blue tansy bottle. Here's mine. We sourced this from Morocco, and it's sourced from a flower that I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to scroll down here, and you're going to see here at the bottom this flower. Isn't it a pretty little flower? It's yellow. Can you guys see it? Can you see it, Melissa?
Yeah, and it's not blue.
Okay. Yeah, it's not blue at all. So why in the world is this blue tansy oil? Okay, so they actually source blue tansy from the flower and the leaf and the stems of this plant. And I love it because it kind of has this little, it's a very strong aroma, wouldn't you say, Melissa?
Yes.
And many people either love it or hate it, but I don't particularly care for the smell, but I will tell you, I use this oil actually almost on a daily basis. So, and don't you too, Melissa? Yeah. So we're going to talk about why. But something really cool about this oil is that it is blue. There's an interesting little chemical reaction that occurs during the steam distillation process of this yellow oil. And Melissa and I love to say this word. It's called shemazoline, right? We love to say this word. It's a component. It's a component that actually turns the oil, actually, blue. It's a very, very deep, deep, dark blue. You see that, right? And so, yes, it does turn your skin blue. Now, just temporarily. But, and actually I'm thinking, why did I put it on my palm? I should have put it on some other areas because it's very helpful for your skin. Very good to the skin. So
that's why I love my blue tansy. That's what I use it for.
Yes, Melissa and I both love using this in our skincare routines. And I'm going to talk about some other uses that you can have for it as well. But we love taking I don't know if you guys can see this, I'm going to stop sharing this so you guys can see a little bit better. This is the doTERRA's Essential Skincare Hydrating Cream. You can see here that my jar is almost empty. It's time to replenish for sure. And you can see it kind of has a blue tinge to it, but has a blue tinge, but there's not a whole lot left in there. So you can't see it very well, but I love adding my blue tansy usually add about 5 to 10 drops into my hydrating cream. And I like to call this crack for your skin. Okay. Melissa's laughing because she knows it's true. So now I like to put a couple of other oils in this as well. If you guys are a customer in our private, the Essential Life Tribe, if you just type in the search box Blue Tansy, you will see the little recipe that we use to put this in. It'll come right up. Those of you who are not in the Essential Life Tribe, you can message below with Newbie and we can help you get set up and be a part of our community and be able to have access to recipes like this. But we love adding this to this because it's very helpful in any kind of skin irritations and just really helping improve just the appearance of your skin, helping with wrinkles, all those kinds of things that we want to improve. Calms any kind of those irritations that you have a tendency to get, especially during dry weather times. If you have those issues, it's very good in regenerating tissue to reduce the appearance of those fine lines and scars and things. So it also helps with your skin tone and balancing out any kind of uneven moisture levels. If you have parts of your skin that are drier than others, it'll help kind of balance that out. So we love it for our skincare. Now, I will tell you that it does have some other uses. So those of you guys who love your Balance blend, and I don't have it with me here, but your Deep Blue blend, you'll notice that those are also a little bit blue, right? When you use them, that's because of your Blue Tansy. Blue Tansy is actually in both of those. Now, Balance and Deep Blue are used for pretty different things. Most of us use Balance for things like stress or just balancing out our emotions, those kinds of things as a general rule. But this also can be very helpful for the skin. And so think about the Blue Tansy in that sense too. It's also very calming. I've seen this in a lot of diffuser blend recipes. I've actually diffused this at night with clary sage and found it to be very calming. And then in addition, your Deep Blue, you typically are going to use that for soothing joints, muscles, those kinds of things. So think about your Blue Tansy in using for that as well. You can use your Blue Tansy to kind of help with calm those muscles, aching joints, and those kinds of things. Now, I will tell you, it will turn your skin blue a little bit. So you definitely want to add in your coconut oil to kind of help massage that in. But once it gets absorbed into your skin, it's not going to turn your skin blue. And
just to be clear, in your face cream, your face does not turn blue. The cream will,
yes,
your face will not. It's diluted enough, and then your skin absorbs it immediately. So just so you know.
And don't let your kids see this because they will want to see if they can turn their skin blue. My boys are constantly wanting to see if they can turn themselves into Smurfs. And this is a little bit more pricey of an oil. So this is not one that you want your kids playing in to turn themselves like Smurfs. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Actually, I will tell you 2 testimonials here that I heard from Victoria in California. She said that she said that when she remembers to use this on her skin, she does 1 drop directly with the moisturizer at night, and in the morning her skin immediately looks brighter. She said it feels soft to the touch. She said it's even helped to, with her acne spots, heal faster. And she's also noticed that it's helping with the wrinkles under her eyes. And then even our fellow friend, Lisa Zimmer, she was saying that she was alternating it for her nighttime skincare. One night she'll do Blue Tansy with the hydrating cream. And then one night she'll do Neroli. And then one night she'll do Jasmine. So she kind of rotates. And she said her skin looks amazing. She said she had 0 sunburns this summer. And she was walking 2 to 4 times a week. And she rode in a convertible in full sun a lot. And she said no burns. Some of you that might not be strange, but Lisa, if you knew her, she's a full-on redhead with very fair skin. And so that's huge that she was in full-on sun, walking 2 to 4 times a week during the summer outside and had no sunburns, and she's been using those oils on a rotation. So that was really cool to hear about that. Okay, so I'll check the comments here and let's move on to the next one. We're going to talk about the bone nutrient complex.
All right, bone nutrient complex. So you may even be like, we have a bone nutrient complex? It's not one of the highlighted products, but it is fantastic to have. This is for anyone who has bones. So basically you should have this in your cabinet.
Oh, so we all have bones. I like it. Anyone with bones.
Truly it is, because we all need to support healthy cell development in our bones. We want stronger bones. We want bones that are less fragile, less prone to breaking. And it's important to have the products like this that can support that, especially if you are one of those people who feel like you have weak ankles, weak knees, weak, different weak spots, or if you have broken a bone in the past. This is something that can help support that healing and make sure that that's not something that occurs again for you in the future. So there's a lot of different things that the bone nutrient, or a lot of different people that this can help support. This is not just for old ladies. This is for teenagers who are growing and their bones are developing still. This is for women who need that extra support. This is for men. This is for anyone who can benefit from extra bone support. And I'll tell you, my father has been diagnosed with bone cancer. And while he's going through that, he's taking the bone nutrient as something that can help support healthy cell growth and help support those bones where he's losing bone growth there. But this is something that can help him support what he's trying to do as he moves down this path. So there's so many different ways that the bone nutrient complex can really help people.
Yeah, I love that. And it's also, it's what we like to call bioavailable. So that means your body's going to absorb it just like food, and it's going to know how to use it. So now I'm curious, Melissa, do you know how much your dad is taking of it?
He's taking 4 a day.
Okay, so that's the amount that is suggested on here. Is you can take up to 4 daily with food. Now, for instance, myself, I actually only take 2 a day because I'm also taking the lifelong vitality supplements. So if you're already taking another form of calcium, you may want to lessen the amount of the bone nutrient complex that you're taking. But what I love about this one also is that it has vitamin D2 and D3 that helps your body absorb the calcium and magnesium, because you need those other nutrients and minerals to help your body absorb them better. So check your calcium if you're taking an inferior form of calcium. You need those extra vitamins to help your body absorb them, and you don't want it to be synthetic versions.
You're so right, Amy, because one of the things people think calcium equals healthy bones, but most people get enough calcium in their diet, but they don't get enough magnesium. They don't get enough vitamin D and the other nutrients that help the body to absorb the calcium. If you're not getting those helper vitamins, then the amount of calcium that you're taking doesn't matter. You've got to have it all together in order for your body to actually use that calcium for bone growth.
Yeah, that's true. So can men take these? Yes. And we recommend that. And something else that I remember reading about was
over the part that says doTERRA women. So if you're giving it to your husband, just cover up doTERRA women and say, here you go, honey, that's for you.
It's marketed more towards women, of course, because women have a tendency to have more bone loss as they age, but because they're a higher risk. But men have bone loss too, and so they need them as well. In fact, especially even I was reading about caffeine. If you're a heavy caffeine drinker, that leaches minerals from your bones as well. So if you're a heavy caffeine drinker, then you for sure also need to be taking the bone nutrient complex. And it's actually a really inexpensive supplement. It's actually only $17.50 wholesale for 120 vegetable capsules. So It's actually a really inexpensive supplement to be taking to add to your routine. Oh, and actually, this comes in a set. Yes.
Yes. So if you want an even deeper discount, you can go and look into some of our LRP kits. So if that's something you're interested in, just drop a comment below LRP kit, and we will get back to you with the exact information on how to get the bone nutrient with some other things that have been designed to help support women's health. This is a women's health LRP kit, and it has some awesome, awesome items in it at a discounted price. And the reason it's an LRP kit is because it's already put together to make sure you get the free product of the month as well. So if that's something you want to know more about, just drop LRP kit in the comments and we will make sure you get the information for that.
Yeah, I love it. That's how I get mine, because it's just it's a much deeper discount than I would get getting them separately. Okay, awesome. Hey, Sherry, glad you're joining us. Okay, so another top comment was, what is the difference? You know, what's the deal with all the whole Breathe line? What's the difference between the Breathe Vapor Stick and the Breathe Touch? Let's just talk about all of these fun goodies.
Well, they're just all good, and you need them all because Breathe is so amazing. The end. Next oil.
Exactly.
Breathe has a special place for me because that was the first oil that we ever used with doTERRA. That is the oil that got me just hooked because of the miraculous changes that happened with my daughter when we were using Breathe. So I love it, and that's always going to be my favorite oil, just because of the respiratory support that she was able to get with Breathe, and what we were able to do for her using that. But it really is neat that there's so many different options. The Breathe Touch, of course, is just your Breathe on the go. It's already diluted, so you can whip that out when you're out and about. And sometimes you don't feel something coming on, but maybe you get into an area where there's more pollen and other seasonal concerns, and all of a sudden you start to feel that. Or, you know, for me, I keep mine in my gym bag, because one of the things that Breathe does is help you to kind of open up your airways and get more oxygen in. So I'll use that sometimes when I'm working out to feel that sense of getting, just getting more oxygen in, and it's giving me a better workout. So I keep my Breathe Touch in my gym bag.
I love that. This is an oil that most of us have because it's one of the top 10 powerhouse of oils. In fact, many of us were introduced to doTERRA with this blend because it made such an impact in our lives. Same here. We had a lot of respiratory struggles with our whole family when we first were introduced. I had a 3-year-old and an infant twins at the time that it was heavy season of having battles in winter, and we were not getting over this, and this was the first blend that we were introduced to, and really helped us recover so much more quickly that I knew we were onto something when we experienced the Breathe. Of course, doTERRA didn't have any of these other Breathe products that they do now. But yeah, I love using them all in different times and in different ways. I know that when doTERRA released the Breathe drops for the first time, gosh, it was, I guess, 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember which, but I was actually battling some real sinus congestion, heavy. And I was so pumped that that I got these, and they got me through convention. Like, these truly helped me get through convention. And I love also that the ingredients in here, just those of you people who are ingredient label readers, label experts, I love it that you are, but I love it that it's organic cane sugar. Now, Only thing that would make it better is maybe if it was sweetened with stevia or something. But I don't really give my kids a whole lot of candy, but I do give them these when they ask for them, because it's the oils and then organic cane sugar. And so.
And no dye. If you just go and look at all the cough drops in the store, it's corn syrup and dye. I'm like, you're supposed to be making me feel better. But
Yeah.
no. So I love that everything in there is natural and
Yes.
just like all of doTERRA's products.
Yes, yes. So comment below, what are you using all of your Breathe line for? Are there any of these that you don't have yet? And why? While I take a Breathe drop myself.
Oh, and the vapor stick. Okay, the vapor stick is kind of Breathe Touch because it is diluted, but that's the one I use. That's more comparable to how you would use Vicks. It's got that consistency. So when you put it on your chest, you kind of get that warm feeling. So it's good for breaking up congestion in the chest and continuously giving you that feeling of comfort. That's what I associate the vapor stick with the most, is that kind of warm blanket while at the same time breaking everything up and still's got the cooling property, but you feel it differently.
I love that. And I just realized that I am on Whole30 and I am not supposed to be taking these because they have cane sugar in them.
Spit that
I
out.
totally messed up. I didn't even realize that. I said that and then it didn't compute with me until I put it in my mouth. And I was thinking,
they are not Whole30 approved people. So
yes, yes. So those of you in my reset group, that was an accident. So, but you could, yeah, you can see here, it's just a little roll up kind of a stick. And I love it because it's kind of, yeah, I think of this when we need to kind of help relieve the stuffiness at night. But then Breathe is more of kind of what I would take on the go with me when I know I'm going to need the Breathe to kind of just have on the go and it's ready and diluted. So that's I don't have to.
It catches like anything open airways. That's why I said in my gym bag, because that's a good spot. That's something you can give to if you've got children who are athletes. That's something they can put on before a meet. That's something you can keep in your bag because you start to get stuffed up. Sometimes something just grabs you. Maybe somewhere's dusty or something that's you can put that on your chest then, or I just rub it on my hands and breathe it in.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's see. What are we going to hopefully we answered that question. And I do have one other. I love it because I was at a class the other night and some women were talking about how they call their Breathe oils their stop the snoring oils, saving their marriage. In fact, Michelle said that her husband's snoring became so bad that she was on the verge of sleeping in the guest room. And not to mention that she said he felt exhausted all day from his lack of sleep. And she said now she puts the Breathe on his chest. And she said he huffs it before bed. And she said the snoring is absolutely gone, no lie. And she said, I know that because he forgot to do it one night and the snoring returned. And so, saving marriages across the planet, get your husband some Breathe, or maybe if you're the snorer, get yourself some Breathe, and you'll be better. Okay, so on to our next topic is what can I do with black pepper?
Amy's
and actually before I know. Now, actually, before we do that, I forgot. You guys were asking more about blue tansy, and I forgot that we have another little snippet of information of things that you can use your blue tansy for. So we talked about the skin. Those of you who are just now joining us live, or if you're just joining us, we talked about the skin benefits. We talked about the soothing benefits, calming benefits, and the calming for your muscles and things, but we did not talk about its emotional benefits. And this is from the, I love this book. It's called Emotions and Essential Oils. And I'm just going to read a little snippet here from this, but this is an oil it's called the oil of inspired action. So do we have any procrastinators out there that are joining us tonight? Anybody? this says Blue Tansy invites people to manifest their passion into action. This is especially important when there's a desire to retreat or self-sabotage. In fact, those of you who've been joining us on our Free Friday Facebook Lives, we've been talking about dreaming and how so many of us have forgotten how to even dream. And if you're starting to dream or starting to write some of those dreams that God's maybe placed on your heart to action, those may kind of scare you. And you might have this real desire to like, maybe self-sabotage or retreat from that. But this talks about Blue Tansy encourages towards inward mobility, teaches that each act is based on choice and requires individuals to own the responsibility of their cumulative choices. So removes all that procrastination, resisting change, feeling uninspired, apathetic, or self-sabotage, and replaces a feeling of being inspired, getting that initiative. Maybe you need that activator to happen in your life. Just being more responsive and responsible. And the book suggests taking 1 to 3 drops with a carrier oil and putting it behind your ears or on your wrists or on your the bottom of your feet, or you diffusing it. Now, we talked about Blue Tansy being kind of a strong aroma, right? So if you have a love-hate relationship with it, if you maybe don't like it, the companion oils to this are Litsea, which I'm really actually enjoying that one. Do you like that one, Melissa?
I do.
And coriander, Roman chamomile, or fennel. Those can all be really great balancing with the Blue Tansy.
And I have an awesome diffuser blend for we're just talking about called Passionate Life. I was going to put in the comments on the Facebook, but I couldn't figure out how to be on here and do that at the same time. So
maybe I can copy it for you, or maybe you can do it.
Use your listening.
Do it afterward.
Yes, after I will post it in the comments, but it is called Passionate Life, and it is 3 drops of Blue Tansy, 2 drops of passion, and 1 drop of lime.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm going to have to remember that one for sure, because we've been talking a lot about dreaming. I've been figuring out what are we dreaming, and so I'm going to need that inspired action and something to kind of cover up the Blue Tansy aroma. It's great, but I add it to other things. I've just noticed by itself, I'm not too keen on it. Okay, so let's talk about what you can do with your black pepper. Comment below if you have black pepper in your house and maybe you're not quite sure what to do with it, or maybe you've only used it in your cooking. We're going to talk about some amazing benefits. Okay, so this is actually sourced from doTERRA in India. And actually, I'll share the screen here so you guys can see all about black pepper. Okay, here we go. So this is actually a heavily studied oil, heavily studied with regards to smoking and those who want to quit. In fact, maybe you've heard some about that research. There's actually been a lot of research studied about that. Those that use black pepper, either smelling it aromatically or actually even taking some drop or 2 internally, that the time between cigarettes that someone is feeling the urge to have lengthens tremendously. And I've heard a lot of testimonials about people being able to overcome their smoking habits with black pepper and a few other oils. So in fact, Jennifer says, my hubby kicked it and he sings the praises of black pepper, clove, the On Guard drops, and prayer. So so there you go for his testimony on that. But this is actually steam distilled from the black pepper, the fruit of it. It's interesting. It's not really, when I smell the aroma of it, it is kind of a sharp smelling, but it also has kind of a fruity aroma to it, I think. And so here's some other uses for your black pepper. Now, it's high in beta carotene, And so it's very warming to the body, and it's also very high in properties that you would want to have during the winter season. This is actually, to give you an idea, this is an oil that's also in the On Guard Plus capsules. And so this is a very powerful oil, but this is very energizing. It also is very helpful for stimulating the appetite. So if you have someone in your life, or maybe yourself is dealing with needing to stimulate your appetite, maybe if you have struggled with food issues and things like that, and that is something that needs to be helped, or maybe if you are there's someone who's elderly, and maybe they have started lacking an appetite. In fact, many times when I used to work in the nursing home or different long care facilities, we dealt with this a lot, especially if someone had had surgery and maybe they weren't around their family a lot, or if they had had a cardiovascular attack, those kinds of things, they would begin to just feel depressed and lack an appetite. So if you are needing to increase your appetite, this is an oil that you can actually diffuse aromatically, or even apply topically, or even use internally. So I love this. It's also, if you, during the cold season, if you have a tendency to get really cold feet, anybody have a tendency to get really cold feet and hands? It's very warming to the body. You can actually use this, combine this with your coconut oil or your doTERRA's unscented lotion. I love putting that on cold hands and feet. It will help warm them up. So I love that. And then the newest thing that I kind of found in my research about black pepper is something that's actually near and dear to my heart, because many of you know my background is in speech language pathology, and I focused more heavily on issues with children in more of like a school setting or in a home setting, but I did do some time in rehab facilities where we worked with dysphagia patients, those who had swallowing difficulties. So whether there's been some kind of traumatic event with the brain, or whether there's been a traumatic event with the brain as you're aging, we are finding, there's actually a study on PubMed of black pepper actually helping with swallowing difficulties. And this is a second freebie we're going to give you guys tonight. I'm going to post the link to the PubMed article for you in the comments, but I love that this showed, this was actually a study done in nursing homes in Japan in a long-term care facility. And there were actually, I think, over 500 post-stroke residents that were studied in this. And what they saw was even just inhaling the black pepper oil, so could diffuse it or could even have them inhale it, would activate. I just love this. I love the beauty of essential oils and how they can impact our brain just by smelling out of the bottle. You know, it would activate the orbitofrontal cortex, and it would improve the reflexive swallowing movement. And so they were seeing, obviously, probably more research needs to be done with this, but this was showing that even regardless of the level of consciousness in the patient, or even their physical or mental status. So all that saying is, even if the patient was not fully cognitively aware of his or her difficulties, or even if they couldn't follow certain instructions, they were still benefiting from it. So I'm geeking out over this in my dysphagia world here with this. I wish I had known this about the beauty of these oils whenever I was practicing therapy. So please, if you know someone who is dealing with some dysphagia or some swallowing challenges, I have someone in my family right now battling these challenges, I will be sharing this information for sure. So please don't keep this to yourself. Share this with somebody who could benefit. And And if you have more questions, I can try to help you. I have very limited information about this. Is new to me as well, but I will post the link in the comments so that you guys can read the PubMed article for yourself and the research. But such cool information. So new, such new respect now for black pepper. So does it, Melissa, do you mind checking and seeing if anybody has any questions or comments that are coming through on the live? And I think, and actually there's one more, I'm going to, after we get off, I'll post on the comments a little recipe that we have seen using for quitting the sticks. Okay, so quitting the smoking. And I'll also post a link to our Amazon shopping site where you can see where I've known some people who have used little inhaler sticks that are helpful to being able to use the black pepper in an aromatic way, even when you don't have a diffuser. So that's really nice to have something portable with you if you're not in a place that has access to a diffuser at the time or something. Okay, so now nobody asked about the new Brave roller. Maybe that's because you already know about it, or maybe you're like, what in the heck are they even talking about? What do you mean new Brave roller? Maybe I missed something. So this Brave blend is actually one of a pack of 6 oils. You can actually only get them as a set right now, but I think starting next month, if I remember correctly, Melissa, yes, I think you'll be able to get the Brave or any of these oils individually. But this is doTERRA, part of doTERRA's brand new kids line of oils. And let's see, let me see if I can share my screen here so you can see it.
No new comments.
Okay. Okay, here's and this is our last one, you guys. I know we're gone a little over. So this is the Brave Courage Blend. And let me tell you what is in this. Now, these are pre-diluted because they're designed to be used with kids. But I'm going to tell you, I'm loving these too. I saw somewhere that somebody was trying to give away their kids line because they didn't need it. And I was thinking, who cares? Even if I didn't have kids, I would be wanting these. Okay. This one, it has fractionated coconut oil, wild orange, amyris, osmanthus, and then the last one is cinnamon bark. And I love this. Think of this. Combine this with your Motivate, you guys, and you will like conquer the day. I'm telling you. Honestly, my kids say that this smells like orange candy.
How would you know what orange candy smells like, Amy?
I know. I don't. Well, actually, it wasn't my kids who was selling. It was actually at convention. They were saying that all the kids were saying it would smell like orange candy, and so I think I put it in their minds. But that is true. They hardly haven't had orange candy. Sorry. But I love that. This one is great too. If you have kids that are, since we're talking, it's a kid line, I'm going to reference it for kids, but you can think about these for yourself too. Think about this. If you have kids that have a tendency to have a hard time waking up in the morning, maybe they are sitting there forever in the bed and you're like, you got to get up. Like you got to get out of the bed. This is a great one to use in helping them get started in the day. Maybe they can even set it by their bed. I love that it has a little card here just for the kids and it tells them how to use it. It's for the heart and it's a courage blend and it tells them before new or different situations or just to start your day, roll Brave onto your tummy or bottoms of feet for a boost of courage and confidence. And or if you have kids who maybe they're having some feelings of anxious feelings about going to school or a situation at school where they really just need some bravery. And I love that I can just tell my boys, go put on some Brave. They totally understand that language. And so I love that this can help them just really feel invigorated and empowered to really conquer something. When my little boys are learning to ride the bike, or when they're having some fears about jumping into the deep end, or whatever it is, our kids need to have that sense of bravery, especially when there's some fear of the unknown, of trying something new, meeting a new friend, making friends. I love that. And so far, my boys are loving these oils. They are picking through them. I'm making sure that they know that these are theirs. They feel like they can be independent with them, and really understand how to use them because it speaks their language. And another cool thing is that it comes with a little carabiner. So depending on your school life situation, they can actually put this little silicone top with a carabiner on it, and they can actually clip this onto a backpack or a purse, whatever you want. Then they can take it with them wherever they're going, whether it's to an outside activity after school. Whatever the situation is, they can take it with them. And so I love that. Melissa is really excited about having these in her house as well. She is anxiously awaiting for them to come to her door any minute.
They're on their way. I got my convention kit. I got my free car diffuser and my free new citrus oils. And
yay!
I'm waiting for a FedEx guy to show up.
Yes. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't have oils, or if you're new to doTERRA, you can easily just comment below with newbie, and somebody will reach out to you. We'll be happy to help you find out a little bit more about your specific needs. We love to partner with families just like you, with people just like you who are just looking to figure out if there are any natural tools out there that can help with their everyday tools and needs. And the answer is yes. And so we'd be happy to meet with you, and then you can decide if doTERRA is the right fit for you or not. So now next week, we're going to cover another hot topic. It's going to be brought to you by the letter C. And you guys thought there were a lot of B. You guys thought there were a lot of B's. There's a ton of C's. We're going to be talking about anger and control issues, boldness. We're going to be talking about fall is in the air, right? Is everybody feeling
about how to make your house smell like pumpkin pie without making anything? Just what they want to hear.
Yes, we're going to talk about how to kick the Scentsy and the whatever
chemicals to the curb.
Yes.
You can make it smell like fall with no chemicals.
Yes, you will no longer miss your little candles, your plugins. You won't miss those anymore, because you're going to have something else that's benefiting your health. And we're going to be talking about cooking and more. So let us know what you want to know about. We're going to at least be talking about cardamom and cassia, cedarwood, cilantro, lots of spices, cinnamon, citrus bliss. So you're not going to want to miss that.
You're not going to want to miss it, because I'm going to tell you my super easy, best go-to recipe using one of those oils. Dinner is done in the crock pot. Delicious every time. So don't miss it.
Ooh, now I'm excited too. Yay. Okay. So join us next week, you guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.